A walking tour through Insadong in Seoul, South Korea. I'm Chris, this is Yellow Productions. This is a 360-degree walking tour done in 360-degree video, so you can spin this around. If you're on your desktop, click and drag. If you're on your phone, then move your phone around. And it's part of my series on 360-degree walks, and in this one, I'll be walking through this street in Insadong, which is considered to be Seoul's most Korean street. This is essentially Seoul's old town, and one of the things that's very interesting is if you look around, all of the signs on the businesses are all written only in Korean. They don't allow the names to be in English or Roman characters. In fact, there's a Starbucks further up that is also just written in Korean. It does not say Starbucks. You can really only tell it's a Starbucks if you don't read Korean because it has the Starbucks emblem. And so this street on Sunday, they close it off to cars, so it's a pretty nice place to come on Sunday because it's a pedestrian street. It makes it calm and quiet. About half of it's pedestrian only, and the other half of it, well, cars still drive on it, but not many because it is so busy. This is a great place to come and pick up souvenirs. Everything Korean souvenir you want, from socks that say Korea to wooden masks to bells to Lucky Charms. You'll find it all here. This street also has a lot of neat little alleyways on the side, and those alleyways are home to little restaurants and classically Korean tea houses. Some of the tea houses are in the old Korean houses from like 100 years ago, and they'll have signs on the street. Like here on my left, there's a sign to tell you that there's a tea house right here, and it's got like a menu on it. Here I'm standing in front of the sign, so you can turn and look at it, and you can see what the inside of one of those tea houses looks like. You can get tea and snacks. Korean shave ice is a very typical snack that you'd have here. On my right, there's a couple of pedicabs, so bicycles that are taking people around on the street. That's probably a good way to see Insadong for the lazy or those inclined that don't feel like walking. But those neat alleyways, again, don't just confine yourself to the main street, but definitely do walk down little aisleways and find the tea houses. There are tea houses like this one, the Osolok Tea House on the main road. You'll find a lot of people go to those, but I think it's cooler to be in a small, quaint tea shop that maybe only has 6 or 8 tables and is in a 100 or 200-year-old house. There's someone setting up to do some video shoot here on my right. It's a really impressive train rig. It's like 15 people here to do this production. I sort of wonder if maybe some K-pop group is coming down the street in a little bit. I don't know, but that is quite a crew. On my left, there's a little shopping center. Here, I'm gonna walk in the shopping center, so let's take a look in here. This is I don't know, I can't pronounce what the name of this is. My Korean is so not good. Samsigil. It's a unique and wonderful place to indulge your senses in Korea. It's a very interesting looking shopping center with 3 or 4 different stories. Looks like a lot of restaurants, interesting yellow characters. These look like shops kind of the more artsy variety. So, that main street, really a lot of touristy stuff. These, it's all for tourists here, but these might be a bit more crafty type souvenirs. There's a food court down in the basement level. Some interesting wooden art pieces that I'm walking by here. And let's see if I can find my way out again through this little hallway here. This shop that I'm walking by on my right sells like wooden pieces that have names or phrases carved in them. All right, so walking out the back alley of that shopping center, I'm back on the main street. Just opposite from me, you'll find a couple wearing hanboks. That's a very traditional Korean attire that's like sort of become a thing to do when you come to Seoul. And we did it to rent hanboks. It's like the Korean equivalent of a kimono. And you can rent those by the hour, you can rent them by the day, and if you rent them, then you get free admission to the palaces that are in Seoul, which are pretty cool. And it's actually funny that if you go into the palaces in Seoul, I think there are actually more people wearing hanboks than wearing street clothes. So if you think you'll stick out like a sore thumb wearing them, well, if you're going to the palaces, you'll stick out like a sore thumb if you aren't wearing a hanbok. So just store that one away up there in your head if you're thinking about doing it. On my left, there's this really popular dessert place selling these things called Honey Sweet Dragon Beard. It's hard to almost describe what that is, so I'll come up closer to this food stall so you can kind of take a look at what he's making there. It's basically like all these little kind of threadish things, almost like a spider web that they wrap together. It becomes sweet and it becomes strong, a little tasty morsel. And you can't like bite into it too quickly. Really, if you've never had it, definitely check it out because it is a pretty unique Korean dessert. On my left is a store selling scarves, which it gets cold in Seoul, but not here on a September Sunday. Quite warm. On my left, there's some people doing caricature art. There's a caricature of like Trump and Kim Jong-un together. It's a very interesting caricature art. Let's go down. Let me take you down one of these narrow alleyways here, and you can see that Kim Jong-un art as well. Maybe this alleyway is a bad choice because it looks like there's a gazillion people standing down this alley. I don't know, what are all these people waiting here for? A lot of people waiting here for something. All these people are waiting for this restaurant to open at 5 p.m. Clearly a popular restaurant. But you can see these narrow alleyways really have a lot of character to them. And it's almost neater to hang out down here in these alleys than on that main street. So it's a narrow alleyway with historic tea shops, but yet LED signs that advertise them. And I feel like that embodies Seoul kind of almost all in one place, to have a narrow old alleyway, but yet light up LED signs. Oh, to my left you can see she's making a seafood pancake in the window. They do, like at the restaurants here, for you to see the food that they're cooking. This is a Korean traditional restaurant, set menus. Traditional Korean restaurants, you'll get lots of food all on the table at the same time. They really like their side dishes. Hello. Their banchan, their kimchi. It's a spicy pickled cabbage.
Hi.
Hello. Here's a store that's selling porcelain products for tea, and we're sort of getting far down into this alley back here. I think I'm almost coming up on the end of this alley. There's a cool restaurant here. This guy's got a thumbs up, and at the end of this alley then we get into this neat courtyard that has a fountain in it. Well, there you have it. That's going to complete the walking tour today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you'd like to see more videos from Seoul, find the links in the description below. I've got more walking tours from Seoul, 360-degree videos, and I've got more walking tours in other places like Venice Beach, the Santa Monica Pier, so you'll find that in my 360-degree playlist, which is also in the description below. Well, I won't say goodbye because I'll see you in the next video.